Hello everyone, it's Annette Green back again, working in my weekly 2023 memory keeping planner, my vintage black planner from Elizabeth Craft Designs. I am working through the entire year of 2023 and documenting each week of my life on one page at a time. So if you're watching and following along, you know that I got halfway through this year and my planner is full. I don't want to go any further than that, so I have started in a second planner, the same style and size. And last week, this was week 28, and we're going to work on the back side of this page for week 29. Before I get started though, I'm doing a little repair work on my dashboard. This page in particular, being the first one, has seen quite a bit of wear and tear from opening and closing the page quite a bit. So I'm just kind of putting these pretty ones on there, cut from pattern paper, such as this, and this is from Reinforcement Set 3. I'm also adding some to the back, just the simple one here, out of brown pattern paper, and that's also from the same reinforcement set. And if you're new here, welcome, and if you are returning, welcome back. As always, I have somewhat of a plan before I ever begin here with my videos. And this past week was all about my summer planner class that I taught in a Facebook Live yesterday. So that was the big highlight of the week for me. I'm going to have two other little photos about us packing and getting ready to move, but I have decided that that's my theme. Now, what I wanted to do is take the paper pack that we used in the class, which was an exclusive kit. You know, you had to buy that in advance to do the class. But I do believe that Elizabeth Craft Designs is now offering the paper collection, at least, on their website. And if so, I will link it below for sure. And if you use my links to Elizabeth Craft Designs page, you always get 10% off your entire order. So that's cool. Use my links. If you participated in the class yesterday or are about to, it's saved, you know. Howdy. If you don't know at all what I'm talking about, this is the paper collection that I'm talking about. It's called New Horizons. We used almost every bit and piece of this with just a few scraps in the planner class that I taught. It did come, the kit came with a stamp set and a die set. I don't know if those are available. I think just the paper collection. So because we didn't have that much left over, I even came up with trouble like even cutting a full page die, because I want to do a little like pocket action here where I have to layer more paper. And also this is my background paper. It's already dictated from this. It's the same sheet. I don't care for that with the colors that I was planning to use, so I want to cover this up anyway. And I thought, well, since I'm covering it up, we're going to make a little pocket slit here, which is a feature that was in the kit, in the die set. We're going to use this little guy. Certainly I can show you later what you could do if you don't have this die or the die set. But you can see I'm coming up short down here, right? So I have this other little scrap because this is all I could get. And I'm going to see if I can make it work down here and then camouflage it. I think I can. And especially with the plan that I have kind of developed in my head, I think that that's going to be camouflaged pretty well where it overlaps there. So anyway, the plan here is to use, again, another one of the dies in that exclusive set. So if you took the class bonus, you could recreate this if you really liked. I'm going to use those little film strip pieces as photo mats for my photos. And so right away there's a photo of me teaching on the Facebook Live. Did a little screenshot this morning of it, and I'm thinking it's going to go over there. I always have to have my 29 or my weekly number, so I got to make sure I can fit that. So this is probably going to get cropped off the edge. We got 29 there, and I again grabbed another scrap from the paper, and I had this whole area here, so I think that's what I'm going to cut my 29 out of. So I got that ready. Of course, I got this great picture of Paul and I ready. This was just a cute little picture that we snapped right before I went live because it's a summer class, so we threw on our sunglasses. And Paul was the moderator at the house here. There were other moderators, from afar, like Els and others, but he was helping me here just in case I missed a question during the live. So he's in it. And then we have this photo of us toasting a cheers. You can see that it's short here. We'll talk about that. But we were toasting after everything was over and he helped me and everything. I took him out to dinner and we celebrated. And when we got to the place where we had dinner, they were asking us, were we celebrating anything? We had already had a glass of wine and Paul had had a beer. But we said, well, yeah, I'm kind of celebrating a work thing that we finally accomplished together. And she brought us over 2 glasses of this lovely, oh, it was like a mix of a Chardonnay and something fruity. It was delicious and refreshing at the end of the meal. So anyway, that's going to go down there maybe. And I have one of these stars in a circle that's cut from one of the dies in the set as well. I'm thinking that might go there. Let's see. And then I have these little photo frames. Tried to work one of these in last week, but I'm going to work them in this time. And so this is a little picture of my little wagon full of packages to go out. It was a bunch of craft stuff that I sold in my Facebook group as part of our move. And then there's a whole bunch of boxes stacked up in our living room waiting to go to the truck when it's time. So I thought I'd put those in there as just little filler things. And I do have you and me here. These are also from the summer planner class. And you can see this is how they cut out. And then I have added like a strip of one of the scraps of paper behind here so you can really read that really well. And I'm trying to figure out a way, because we're on the wrong side. This is me and this is you, and I don't really want to put it over my head. So I'm still trying to work out how to put you there, but I am going to get paper behind this one as well. As I'm looking at this little film strip up here and this polka dotted paper in the background, it's a little bit busy, so I grabbed this scrap also from leftover, and I do see a lot of white space in there, so I'm thinking I'll cut some strips and glue those behind those openings. And I feel like that's going to look a little nicer when it goes on the page and make it stand out better. So I'm going to just take a moment and get those onto both of these. I quickly learned that the striped numbers did not hold up on their own, so I did add that little bit of a drop shadow using that navy blue. But then I got to thinking, maybe it would look cool to then put an upper shadow of red that away. So the blue comes down that way and the red goes up that way, and it's kind of cool. I think I'm going to do that. Okay, so I'm just about ready to get going on this. This turned out kind of nice, I think. I like that. And it really stands out nice on the page. I've got everything glued together as far as photos and mats. And now we just need to determine the positioning. I don't want to glue this down yet because we're going to make that little pocket slit thing. But we have to determine the positioning of our pieces and parts so that we can determine where that little slit is going to go. So there's my 29, probably, maybe up higher. And there's Paul and I, and we want room for the slit to the left of us. We've got this star. Not sure if the star probably will go up here. I have to, there we go again, cutting off Paul's head, covering up his head. But I think it's okay. Like I said last week, he's thinning out up there, so he probably doesn't mind if I cover him up a little bit. And it's just his head, it's not like his face, so that's fine. All right, and then we've got our 2 little guys, and this needs to come down because it's going to get cropped right there. So well, this could come down a little. We don't have to cover him up too much. Tiffany, if you're watching, I'm betting that's what you were laughing about last week. It's me talking about Paul's head. So this might go like this. Kinda. Okay, so then you and me. You and me. Maybe I'll just do it like that. I don't know. Because I don't know. I know I can put me over here, but it's the you part. I don't want to tilt it. That's kind of weird. Hey, maybe I'll have to cover up my own head for a change. I don't like that idea. I might go like that. Okay, so, I mean, at least we have somewhat of a plan. Now, what I want to do is take a pencil and mark where this needs to lay on my page. And I'm just going to mark all the way around it. I don't have to go all the way around, but I'll kind of do that. At least get the top curve and the bottom curve and this side. Okay, so I'm going to take this piece over, see this is glued down. I'm going to take this over to the die cut machine and cut that right through. Okay, I really love this. It's so nice. It puts a stitching around there. Can you see that little detail? And it's kind of rounded at the top and the bottom instead of squared off. It's really nice for a little slit. So we have to do a couple things before we can get it on there, but I just wanted to show you that if you didn't have the die and you wanted to make a cute little slit like that, it's really not difficult. I would take my ruler, a steel ruler, and a craft knife, and just determine maybe how high you want it to be. Let's say, like, we'll say 3 inches. So I'm just going to make a pencil line from 3 to 6 on my ruler. And then I would just cut. Make sure you get all the way through, and then scooch over about 1/8, not quite, just under 1/8 maybe. Oh, I went too far. Don't do that. Okay. And then if you have a crocodile or even smaller punch, let's see if this is going to be too big. And is it going to reach? We'll see. Actually, you could use a piercer, but let me see if this works. It might be a little too big. If you can get it to reach, move your little stopper there and get in there. Well, it's a little too big of a hole. I just went to look for a smaller punch and I've packed it, so it's not going to happen. So the only reason why I'm looking for something circular is because it keeps this from stressing too much, if that makes sense. And it looks nicer, but I'm just going to square it off. And you could do that. You wouldn't have the little stitches. You could draw little stitches with a black fine point pen or something, but you can certainly do that. Okay, I thought you'd get a kick out of this. I'm just inking away, getting this inked, and I kept saying to myself, like, I'm going to have to mention how you don't want to ink the bottom edge down there. This is the bottom down here, because of our little patch job that we did down here. We don't want to accent that line, and then I just started inking away, so my bad. All right, so we have to get rid of our little pencil line now that we've die cut that. And so what this is going to be for me on my page is a pull-out journaling spot. You could make it a pull-out that had more photos, whatever you want it to be. But for me, it's going to be, because there's no room once I get all my photos on here, as you saw with the layout, there's no room for any journaling. And I want to say a little bit, you know, there's a lot going on. So, before I forget, I'm going to ink the bottom, and then I'll come up with a journaling card of some sort, because, like I said, I've packed everything away, all my stamps, all my stuff. Just a few things are here. Okay, yay. I found that I had put aside this particular die, the Planner Essentials 30 Wave Pocket, and it has all these great tags and stuff. So, and I'm noticing those little accent pieces. I want to add that too. So I went ahead and measured which one was going to fit in my slot, and I cut one from cardstock, one from the paper. This is what we're going to see, but I wanted it to be super strong going in and out of that pocket, so that's why I did the blue here. And I don't think it matters. Yeah, it kind of does. Okay, and so I think that's what I want there, and I believe I'll use some of that dark blue again to cut one of these little decorative guys and put it on there. And then for my journaling part, I grabbed this scrap piece from Reminiscence, the book number 6. Wonderful for journaling and making tags. But I liked this blue side. See how it's like a grid? that's going to be perfect for my journaling here. So I just have to cut that down to fit in here. All right, now we are ready. I've got my little journaled tag here, ready to go, nice and reinforced. I will probably add a little ribbon there. But before we can glue this down, we have to get this in here where we want it. So I want it, it can hang off a little, but I don't know. I think I want it right flush with the page when it's in there, so I can see it. It looks nice. I can grab a hold of it, even especially when I put the ribbon, because right now I'd have to reach under like that, and that might put a little bit of stress or strain here. So what I'm going to do is get it exactly where I want it, pick it up, flip it over, try not to let anything move, and make some pencil lines. Now I see that I'm not even top and bottom over here, so I'm going to scooch down a little bit and then check it again. So it's nice and straight, looks good. Okay, and then I'm going to make a little pencil line right exactly where this card, I want this card to be, because that's where I want to not put adhesive, but put adhesive close. So with this flipped over, I'm going to take my double-sided tape, and you definitely put adhesive on this area before the slot or slit. Let's call it a slit. Okay, so that will go there, and then the whole rest of it outside of this line can definitely get adhesive. Now I don't trust. I'm just going to put some more glue. I just want it to be able to slide. I just won't get close to the photo or the tag area that's going to slide in there. I've seen many designers use both tape and glue, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that too. Okay, I'm ready to go. I have to get this over under me, sorry, so I can lean over and line it up, and because it's glue and tape, I can still slide it. Okay, 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 okay. And then burnish it really well to get that tape to stick and the glue. Okay, whew, stressful. All right, and while I'm waiting for that glue to dry, I can start to assemble the rest of my stuff here. And I think I got to get this 29 on here very first. Can't get over the holes. I got to get it right on there just so. Okay, wow, it's coming together. I was going to kind of record my process of getting all this on here, and then I just got all in the moment and forgot. So I am thinking about this. It fits in there nice. I just checked it. However, before I put ribbon on here, I feel like, because this is your one point of strain, let's say, or pressure point, I don't know what you want to call it, when you go to pull this in and out, even if there's ribbon, and yes, we have 2 sheets of cardstock together, we have the cardstock thing, but just to be certain, I'm going to put one more of these on the back, just to make it now 4 layers thick and nice and strong, and hopefully never tear when we go to pull that out by the ribbon I'm going to attach here. Just knows I've got lots of ribbon. This is just the red and the pink drawer. And I'm looking at this twill and I'm thinking that's pretty nice. It's kind of beefy. We'll see if that works. I've got some stripe there too. That could be fun. This stripe's okay, but this one could be fun. Oh, I like that one. That's fun too, but a little busy. What do you guys think? Don't you love it when I ask you these things? This is a tight fit, but I think over time that will loosen up. If you're worried, you can always gently get a ruler in there and just kind of stretch that paper a little bit. It's because this is so thick, but it does go in there a lot easier now. So, okay. All right, so we just have to make this decision. This is pretty bright red. It matches okay. But, I don't know, I'm kind of leaning toward this one. That's pretty cool. I have blue like this too. Decisions, decisions. I think it has to be red. Yep, I think it has to be red. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm thinking I'm just gonna fold it in half. I don't want it to be too long. And then I'm gonna staple it. But I want it to be a little like wonky offset like that. So I'm gonna grab my tiny attacher. Put a couple staples. Hopefully this will work. 1, 2. Okay. Yeah. All right. And then, of course, I want to trim this little V. And this little V. I don't know, maybe one more staple. Is it too much? I feel like it's so loose. I'm gonna do one more. Stay. Stay, stay. Stay still. Okay. There you go. Sometimes you just gotta get stern with it. Okay. Oh. All right, I think that's it. That is cute and fun, right? Yeah, I like that. Very cute. Okay. Hold on, let me get it back in my planner. This goes here, and it sticks way out. That might be a concern with this strap, but do I care? Not much. I could cut them shorter if it really bothers me. In my previous planner, I have things hanging out. I have things coming off the sides. It doesn't bother me too much. But if it's you and it bothers you, then just trim it shorter. I probably will eventually. But there's my page. Very, very happy with it. I just want to mention really quick that the summer planner class may still be available for those of you who missed out on the first go around. It sold out really quick in a lot of places, but if you're a store owner and you're watching, or if you're just a customer and you're watching, reach out to your local store. They may have a kit or two left. And it doesn't matter because the class that we did yesterday is saved. There's part 1 and part 2. The homework is there. Everything's saved in all the different tabs at the top. So you could make this class. I'm not going to show it all to you, of course, but it's a nice 14-page summer memory planner. All right, that's it for me today. Thank you for joining me. I will see you next week. Whew, we'll be moving next week. Well, that'll be interesting. So it'll be week 30. So I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.